Hello and welcome to Dune Spice Wars. I'm Shadow Coast and welcome to the channel. In this relatively short video, we are going to outline how to install Underworld headquarters when playing as the Smugglers, and we're going to also take a look at some of the buildings we can build once we do. So, to start with, you have to be playing as the Smugglers, and you have to interact with another major faction, so one of the three up here. Once you do, if you go to one of their villages or towns, up here in the top right, you can install Underworld headquarters. So we're going to install an Underworld headquarters, and then we're going to let that tick down. Once we do, well, we're just going to let time kind of pass. We now have our Underworld headquarters. From here, we can build a few interesting buildings. We have the Bootleg Market, where we can produce 30% of the village's spice production as Solari, etc. So this can provide small quantities of rare resources. I personally like contraband cache, so I install these in areas that I'm actively fighting against. So in this particular example, I'm allying myself with House Atreides, but I'm fighting against Harkonnen and the Fremen. So here, what this one does is it stocks a portion of the village's production up to a certain point, so in this case 500, and then I can retrieve those resources when I pillage that city. So that one's kind of a fun one. We have some military options where we can regenerate health for nearby units and refill supplies, which is helpful. Hidden explosive damages the village's militia by 50% of their health upon an ally siege. This building is destroyed upon an ally siege. Very helpful though when we're trying to acquire a new territory. Then we have, call it statecraft, so spyware advances random development owned by the village's faction every day. And then we have a Whisperer's Lair, which gives you influence and intel. Now, long story short, when we're installing these headquarters, there are... Oh, wow, they have an ally there. There are limitations, right? It does cost authority and gold, so we can use that to our advantage. And then there are also other modifiers. So, for example, we have Stabin Tuick. He has a buff to Underworld headquarters where it produces extra Solari based on adjacent regions containing Underworld headquarters. And then it also gives us extra influence per Underworld headquarters. So that is how you install an Underworld's headquarters. You select an enemy village. You can then select install Underworld headquarters, which will cost money. And then once it's installed, you can then select different buildings to install there, which is very helpful. One of the key things to note here, though, is when we're installing these, most of these just cost gold straight up, so we don't have to worry about them later on, which is hugely advantageous. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you want to see more Dune Spice Wars, I'll be posting Let's Play or playthroughs and other helpful hints or tricks. So please consider dropping this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And as always, if you have any interest in supporting the channel, please comment and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Shadow Coast.